I'm now looking into the economic relationship between Korea and Austria. Why? The topic of this week's episode is Korea and Austria's economic relationship. The Austrian ambassador has already appeared on our program several times. And the last time we met, he said he'd like to talk about this topic someday. Then, I heard that a very special person will be visiting Korea. It is the Austrian Minister of Labor and Economy. During his visit to Korea, ARE Diplomats team also decided to follow some of the minister's schedules. So, let's begin today's episode. First, let me introduce you to the Austrian ambassador. Ambassador!
Hello, Nuri. We have not seen for a long time.
Yes, nice to meet you again.
Glad to see you here.
He's one of the people who knows the most about the relationship between Korea and Austria. We met at Songhyun Green Plaza in Jongno-gu. It is around a 10-minute walk from the Austrian embassy. I wanted to see you here because I wanted to feel some Korean autumn mood. So we can feel some autumn breeze and we can see some people wearing hanbok. Yes. You should visit if you have the chance. So, Ambassador, you wanted to talk about economic cooperation between Korea and Austria this time. Is there a reason?
Yes, of course. There is. The relation between two countries are political, economic, cultural, and people-to-people relation. And among those, the economic relations are very important. They are continuous, sometimes not very visible, but very important for the mutual interest of two countries.
So now, we are going to talk about today's topic. And I decided to start by asking about Austria's economic structure. So, for Koreans, Austria is best known as a land of culture. But Austria ranks among leading industrial and export nations. So, what makes Austria's economy so strong?
Yes, where do I start? Well, the Austrian economy is strong because it's an industrialized country, as you say, right at the center of Europe, embedded in the European Union, close to its markets of its European neighbors, with a big heritage in high-quality products and a high degree of innovation. So that are the ingredients of Austrian economy, which is also reflected by the high degree of exports which we have. So together with Switzerland, Germany, Korea, we are among the export masters in the world. We do a lot in promoting our exports. We have a very strong equipe in our commercial section of the embassy, which is the representation of the Austrian Chamber of Economy. And we as embassy proper and as Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we try to support Austrian companies through an initiative which we call Refocus Austria.
When talking about the Austrian economy, there's one thing that cannot be left out. It's the Refocus Austria campaign. Refocus Austria is Austria's global business initiative, which was launched in September 2021 as part of the comeback plan for economic recovery following the COVID-19 pandemic. Through Refocus Austria, the Austrian government has set exports and tourism, the two main pillars of the country's economy, as key tasks for economic recovery and has promoted the image of the country as an innovative country at the center of Europe. And now, this campaign specifically focuses on 7 future-oriented areas. The 7 areas are renewable energy, e-mobility, sustainability, digital transformation, infrastructure, urban technology, and tourism. The Refocus Austria initiative, which was intended to run for 1 year, was a success, and an extension plan was announced in September 2022.
We want to play actively on the added value of business diplomacy in order to promote Austrian export interests. pretty much as the Korean government also does. When you look at the activities of the Korean government, which government actors, which are usually accompanied by big delegations from the business side.
So last time we met, I remember you told me that Austria has a lot of hidden champions.
The term hidden champions refers to highly successful companies, often market leaders in their fields, that are not known to the wider public. According to German business professor Hermann Simon, who first conceptualized the term, 3 criteria must be met to be considered a hidden champion. 1. The company either has to be positioned in the top 3 of the global market or take the top spot on its continent in terms of market share. 2. The company's revenue must not exceed $4 billion. And 3. The company must have a low level of public awareness.
Well, there are about close to 200 hidden champions in Austria, and together with the world market leaders, there are about 250 Austrian companies which are number 1, 2 or 3 in Europe and in the world. So we are very proud that we have a very active backbone. And what is important is that these companies are in many cases family run, which allows them to have long-term perspectives. They are not bound by shareholder expectancies, which gives them more clout in long-term planning. And they do a lot of investment into R&D. At the same time, they are highly export-oriented. We are very happy that we can boast to be among, with Switzerland and Germany, among those countries who have most hidden champions per capita.
That is right. As of 2022, Austria ranks second in the hidden champions per capita ranking by country. Today, I'm off to Pyeongtaek. It takes about an hour by car from Seoul to Pyeongtaek. This is our destination for today. Engel is one of Austria's hidden champions. Founded in Austria in 1945, Engel is a global injection molding specialist. Put simply, the company produces machines that shape plastic into desired shapes. And in 1997, this hidden champion established Engel Machinery Korea in Pyeongtaek and is using it as a production base for the Asian market. But why did Engel decide on Korea as its production base 27 years ago? I decided to ask the president, Asia and Oceania of Engel, the reason. Why did you decide to open an office in Korea at the first place?
The decision was made in the end of the 90s, and at that time Korea was very fast developing in terms of economy. So that built actually a very good platform for us to set up a production location, and Engel Korea was the first production in Asia. But at the same time, also Korea is a very important market for us in a domestic market, but especially because there are a lot of globally successful Korean companies here. And our challenge is to follow them wherever they are with our global network, and at the same time work with them in their local headquarters here in Korea. So our sales force is a bridge to the world to work with the customers here, but also work with our global network to cater for the needs of Korean investments overseas.
It was interesting to hear that Korea is important as a production base and as a market for selling products. Actually, there was another reason why we came here today. It was to meet the Austrian Minister of Labor and Economy. Now, the minister and the delegation will take a tour around the factory. I became curious while looking around the factory. Why did Engel build their factory in Pyeongtaek?
Pyeongtaek is last end of the capital area. That means more easier, capable engineer employee finding is available on here first. Secondly, from here to West Harbor is just 25-kilometer harbor to moving to China.
This factory produces 790 injection molding machines a year. And it can produce over 11,000 types. And this is what a completed injection molding machine looks like. The minister also toured the factory with great interest.
How long does it take to finish it from the beginning?
3 to 4 weeks lead time.
There's one line for each. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
We have 5 tech working position.
Okay, the cranes only go this direction.
Exactly,
Okay,
you're
okay,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
For ordinary consumers like us, it is a company we do not often come across. But Engel is actually the world's largest injection molding machine manufacturer. After a look around the factory, we could have a short interview with the minister. So first, can you tell me the purpose of your visit to Korea?
It is clear that Korea and Austria are long-standing trading partners. They have a strategic partnership that goes much beyond economic ties and trade, but there is untapped potential. I think there's lots of areas where Korea and Austria can work more closely together, and the idea is, of course, to understand where we can actually work more closely together, to have meetings with members of the government, to see the companies that are active here in Korea, both Korean companies and also Austrian companies, to make sure that we can actually seize the opportunities that are out there in all areas, large companies down to startups actually.
In 2021, Korea and Austria's bilateral relationship was upgraded to a strategic partnership, which led to a stronger economic relationship between them. The volume of trade between Korea and Austria has been steadily increasing. In 2022, even amid the COVID-19 pandemic, bilateral trade volume reached a record high of $3.59 billion. As of August 2023, Korea's export items to Austria include wireless phones, EVs, and SSDs, while imports include passenger cars, pharmaceuticals, and meat. So, what about the scale of Korea's investment in Austria? As of September 2022, Korea invested about $1.6 billion in Austria. By industry, manufacturing accounts for $1.42 billion, or about 88% of total investment. Among the manufacturing industries, the automobile and electrical equipment sectors account for the largest proportion, 98%. On the other hand, the scale of Austria's investment in Korea is approximately $960 million, based on the cumulative reported amount as of December 2022. In particular, Austria's investment in Korea in 2021 reached $468.8 million, the highest ever.
And last year, Korea and Austria signed an MOU on industry and trade promotion. So what do you think is the significance of it?
The Memorandum of Understanding should actually establish an even deeper relationship. It should make it more easy to work together. It establishes a joint economic committee, a joint economic commission that works together on specific topics. It should establish a stronger relationship when it comes to research and development of companies, technology cooperation, and also, of course, working together for startups. We have a startup bridge that works very well. Austrian startups coming to Seoul, but also Korean startups coming to Austria, learn from each other, and explore the markets on both sides.
So for the Austrian business community, what kind of characteristics does Korea have as a business partner?
Korea has a very good reputation in Austria. It's seen as a country that embraces high technology production. It is a country that invests a lot in innovation and research and development. So Korea is an example in many areas. And Austrians, of course, know many of the Korean consumer products because they buy it in Austria. On the other hand, of course, we know it's a highly developed country, very important. Korea is also working together with Austria International to establish a rule-based world trading order, which is very important. We are working closely together to defend this rule-based trading order. We share similar norms. The Austrian-Korean friendship is a long-standing good one.
Minister Kocher's visit to Korea was accompanied by a high-level delegation, including Vice President of the Austrian Federal Economic Chamber. During his visit to Korea, he met with several Korean government officials, including Minister of SMEs and Startups and Minister for Trade. So our destination today is... It is the Austrian ambassador's residence. The reason I came to the residence is because the Refocus Austria networking reception is being held here today. And this is Minister Kocher's last itinerary in Korea as well.
To be honest, it's my first visit to South Korea, and in a world with quite a lot of challenges and some fragmentation taking place, having partners that share values, that share norms, and that share a similar model of the economy is a value in itself. And I think that's the basis for actually intensifying what we have in terms of trade.
Many Austrian business people who have advanced into Korea are attending this event today. One reason why I came here is to meet these people and to find out more about how Korea and Austria are cooperating economically. So, I decided to talk to some of the people who were present at the reception. So, could you introduce your company to our viewers?
So, our company is called Entrepreneurship Korea, and we are selling instrumentations, so measurement devices for very different applications. It's mainly in the B2B industry.
You said that Antonpar established your company 9 years ago in Korea,
Yes.
right? So why did it decide to open an office here in Korea?
So our instruments are used in very different areas, and one big area is also R&D. Here, for example, maybe a good example is like scratch testing. So, if you have a phone and it falls down, it shouldn't be scratched. So you need to test, display, how many times can I stretch before it breaks? So our instruments can also analyze that. And obviously, if you look at the Korean industry, you have a lot of display producers. So from an R&D perspective, I think Korea is very up in the front for R&D development. So obviously for our company, it made sense to have an office here in Korea.
EV그룹 회사 소개를 좀 부탁드릴게요.
저희 회사는 이제 1980년에 설립이 됐고요. 주로 이제 반도체 쪽에 이제 웨이퍼 본딩, 리소그라피 설비들을 공급하고 있고요.
오스트리아 회사에서 일을 하고 계시는 한국 분으로서 보실 때 한국이랑 오스트리아가 그 경제적으로 협력할 수 있는 잠재력이 얼마나 있다고 생각하시나요?
오스트리아를 보면은 되게 이제 관광 이런 쪽으로 많이 문화, 예술 이런 쪽으로만 많이 생각하는데 오스트리아가 이제 기초 과학이 굉장히 발달이 돼 있잖아요. 한국 사람들은 잘 모르지만 노벨상이나 이런 거 받으신 분들도 굉장히 많고 한국하고 어떤 이제 기초과학 분야에서도 많은 협력을 할 필요가 있고요. 저도 이제 제가 이제 있는 회사가 반도체 장비 회사를 만들기 때문에 이 분야가 이제 점점 커지고 있거든요. 그래서 한국이 또 주요한 이제 반도체 소자를 만드는 나라 중에 한 군데이기 때문에 그런 쪽으로 많은 비즈니스가 생길 거라고 생각을 하고 있습니다.
So what should Korea and Austria do to cooperate in a mutually beneficial way? I decided to ask this question to the Vice President of the Austrian Chamber of Commerce. Comparing the economic structure between Korea and Austria, which area of exchange do you think could be mutually complementary?
No, I think we have on this, not on the same level, but in the same fields, a lot of topics we are working on, and that fits good to the demand from Korea. And on the other way around, I think it could also be a good idea for Korean companies to come to Europe, to come to Austria and invest there, because you know about the actual situation with China and other countries. The European Union is raising the bars for importing products, and therefore one solution could be to come to Austria and invest there. And that was also a topic we talked to our partners at Hyundai and other companies.
These interviews have given me the impression that the two countries can achieve greater results when they work together rather than separately. Our story isn't over yet. This time, we are going to Seongsu-dong. There is one last place that I have to visit. Austrian Startup Night Seoul 2024. Here it is. The reason so many people are gathered here is because of the Go Seoul program.
The Go Asia program, organized by the Global Incubator Network Austria, which is a government-affiliated startup support organization, is a customized incubation program for Austrian startups aiming to enter the Asian market. Currently, GIN is targeting 6 regions in Asia, including Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, Japan, mainland China, and Israel. The Go Seoul program has been running in Korea since 2018. Through this program, GIN supports Austrian startups that dream of entering the Korean market. Austrian startups that participate in this program can receive strategic and financial support.
Then how did the Go Seoul program come about? I decided to ask the Go Asia program manager. So first, could you introduce the background of this Go Seoul program?
So our program, the Global Incubator Network Austria, was initiated in 2016 by the Austrian federal government to strengthen ties between Austria and selected countries in Asia. And Seoul was selected being on top of them. This is why we are actually doing the Go Seoul program to not just bring the startups from Austria to Seoul, but also to promote our startup ecosystem in Seoul and also show startups from Seoul that if they're interested in going abroad, they can come to Austria and get to know the ecosystem there as well.
As mentioned earlier, currently, the Go Asia program is targeting 6 regions. So how did Korea become the target country for this program?
We have to say the Asian market, or especially the South Korean market, are very fast-moving markets. They are driving innovations forward. They are developing new kinds and new ways how solutions can be made. If there are evolving some kind of cooperations between Austrian companies, startups with South Korean or other Asian innovators, they can probably develop new ways of solutions. And the Austrian government is happy to support those cooperations and those collaborations.
Today is the day when startups participating in Go Seoul 2024 pitch their companies.
What we do at Diviso is classical B2B business, where we enable our customers in developing and providing the digital infrastructure for supply chains.
Essentially what we're developing is we are developing something that is this small. It is a display technology that is meant to go directly into the glasses system itself.
Startups from various fields attended and pitched their companies. I listened attentively as an audience member. After the pitching was over, I decided to interview some of the startups that participated in the Go Seoul program. So first, could you introduce your company in layman's term?
Yeah, I'm Zaida from Denitech. What we do at Denitech is providing an infrastructure for other companies to simplify identity management and creating credentials, such as your passport, for example, or your driver's license. In the future, they will all become digital. And what we provide is basically a secure infrastructure to do that in a digital way.
Hi, I'm Nico. I'm the CCO of Supreme. Supreme is a leading self-checkout provider. So we work with large retailers such as Aldi, Auchan Retail, and also the Rewe Group in Europe in over 1,500 stores. We have Mobile Scan and Go, where customers can check out using their smartphone, but also with hardware products for the exit, as well as for self-checkout kiosks.
So have you met potential Korean partners already?
Absolutely, yes.
So how was their reactions?
It's something new to them because it's not widely deployed in Korea yet, so mobile Scan and Go especially. Of course, we often get the feedback, but there are also the grab and go stores where you can just grab something and leave the store. But we already work with those formats as well, and the business model is quite hard. The stores are quite expensive, so we can provide a very economically feasible technology for retailers that want to provide the seamless checkout from online and e-commerce into their local stores.
I'm wondering why you decide to participate in Go Seoul program.
Right. One of our partners is based in Seoul, and what we initially wanted was also strengthen our bond with our current partner, as well as expanding to different Korean markets. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to be here in Korea. I think innovation is also another reason. It's going very fast, and especially with our products, I think we can make some use here of ourselves.
Many Koreans from startup business also came to this event to listen to the pitches of Austrian startups and network with them. I was able to meet and talk with the CEO of one of the Korean startups.
Sure. My company name is Moviation. We just launched our service under the name called Vonair, and we are basically Korea's first air mobility service company utilizing our platform. So you could think of us as sort of a Korean version of Uber in the UAM space.
Why did you decide to participate in this event today?
I came across this opportunity, and I thought that it would be very beneficial for us to be part of the event because we are trying to find a way to have exposure on the European markets, and we couldn't really find a way to build our network. And I think today's event has become a great opportunity to mingle and network with the potential partners from Europe, especially from Austria.
So how important is it for your company to enter overseas market?
It is very important for us because as far as the aviation market goes and the urban air mobility market goes, Korea is pretty small. So for us to be more scalable and expandable, we do need to expand to other markets.
Through the interview, I learned that exchanges between countries are extremely important in the startup industry.
이게 우리가 일방적으로 가서 문 열어달라고 우리 장사하겠다라고 하면 경계도 하고요. 뭐 이럴 거예요. 좀 이렇게 꼭 환영하지 않을 거예요. 그런데 너네도 와, 우리도 갈게. 서로 좋은 거 교환해 보자라고 하면 여기서 이제 서로의 매력을 느낄 겁니다. 그리고 서로가 일단 다르니까 다른 데서 오는 불편함이나 다른 데서 오는 거부감도 있지만 다른 데서 오는 매력이 엄청 커요. 또 오스트리아 쪽에 인구가 900만인 나라에 스타트업이 3,000개가 넘는답니다. 저희가 배울 것도 되게 많을 것 같고요. 교류하면서 우리가 좀 더 뎁스 있게 알아가고 저쪽의 장점들을 배우고 저쪽도 우리를 하게 되고.
So the thing with startups and innovation is it's not something you can just make in a closed ecosystem. You have to open up because there's so much knowledge and power to innovation abroad. So by collaborating together, people from Austria, people from Korea, maybe people from the rest of Asia, we can really create the solutions we need for our future and for our economy.
Today, we met many diplomats who connect Korea and Austria in the economic field. What were your thoughts after watching our episode this week? While filming this week's episode, I traveled to many places and met many people. And I came to realize that better ideas come from sharing ideas with others.
So in what areas can we expect cooperate to expand for the future?
One of them is, of course, the joint objective to become net zero, reduce carbon emissions. Health tech and the health sector is also something that we actually share in our priorities. And then semiconductors is one of the areas. Austria is the strongest semiconductor producer in the European Union. I think these are just a few examples. They are non-exhaustive. I think there are much more areas where we can work together more closely. But I'm confident that the visit will boost bilateral trade and bilateral investments.
There seem to be endless areas in which Korea and Austria can work together. I hope that the two countries will continue to work together to create changes that benefit each other and more broadly, make the world a better place. For that day to come, I hope all diplomats who connect Korea and Austria will do their best. Honored to meet you. My name is Nuri.
I'll see you later, I think. Yeah?
Yes.
Kind of a little difficult. It was difficult, no, yeah. So in maybe we could. That would be great. Yes. 시작하겠습니다.